Today's video is going to start with a coin from Syria, and it's going to be Syria. It has the eagle looking to the left, to the right, with the 3 stars on the shield in the middle. This one has an Arabic date on the bottom right of 1399 and a Gregorian date of 1979. We flip this one over, and the number at the top is 25. So this one's going to be at 25 piastres. Catalog number KM118. This is a coin. They had made a few coins that look similar to this one, but it is a 1-year coin. Today's video is going to cover the coins which are on the screen right now. This is a dealer that I see 2 or 3 times a year. They say they're called the North Florence Coin Shop, and I googled that once and I found a shop that appears to be run by an old guy, and the guy at the table here is not an old guy, so I don't know if it's his son, if it's a second employee, or what they do, but when it comes to the coin shows, at least the part I look at is a huge tub, probably 30 or 40 pounds of foreign coins. And there are times that I've walked away with nearly 100. They're 6 for $1, usually. Then he also has a smaller tub of $1 coins, $2 coins. I actually didn't find anything that I wanted this time from that bin, but I got $5 worth of coins, which is going to be 30 coins that we're going to look at here. And so I will say that I got to his booth probably close to the end of the show. Maybe it was picked through, but I don't know how many people are looking for the things I'm looking for, and I usually look for the rarest coins. So let's keep going. From India, we have a 5 rupiah from 1979. This one's going to be KM43. It's a 1-year coin. And at this time, they are promoting the concept of family planning. That sounds like that could be a controversial topic, so I'm not going to make any other observations about it, but it does seem like there is a mother and father, 2 children on here. And so when I go out and collect all these other coins, I'm not necessarily looking for things that I agree with or disagree with, but I'm looking for things that, of course, pretty much any coin from any country. And along with that, you're going to find all kinds of interesting subjects, including things that we may or may not agree with. And I don't even know if there is a policy set with this or not, but it always makes it for interesting. And that's, people go through and look for coins that go back to the Nazi days, or more recently I've featured Saddam Hussein coins in the past year. And so it's just interesting to see the world through coins, and that's what we see with this one for Indonesia. Spain had a lot of commemorative circulating coins in the 90s, and in 1993 this was the 5 pesetas coin. It's called the Jacobeo coin, which translates to Saint James from the Bible. So this is specifically going to be the Jubilee year of Saint James. This coin is cataloged 919. We flip it over here. And this one, it looks like I'm holding it upright like this, but it's actually rocking a little bit. This is an item, this item on the left of the coin, called the Botafumeiro, which is from an iconic item at a cathedral in Spain. And so I believe that translates to throws out smoke. So I can't say that I'm well versed in Catholicism and its imagery, but apparently it is something that is used for important Catholic holidays throughout the year. It'll swing back and forth and smoke will be emitted from it. There's also it's kind of damaged on this coin, but there is a sun with something that looks like a sun with lines coming out of it, and that is the logo for the St. James Road. Has a Madrid mint mark on the right. 2 years later in Spain, the 5 pesetas coin was the Asturias coin, And it features the Asturias Victory Cross on this side. That Victory Cross does have an Alpha and Omega on it, so there is some more religious imagery there. This one is catalog KM 946. But it's something which isn't religious. I believe the item on the back of here is called the Horeros, which is a granary. That's a word I had to look up. It is a place to store grain, so I guess that's easy to understand what that is. But it's raised a little bit off the ground so that rodents can't climb into it. Here is a larger Costa Rican coin. This one is a 20 colones. Every time I get a Costa Rican coin, I always have to double check the catalog for all of the varieties. I've picked up so many of them by now that I usually have them all. This one is the version from 1994, and there are two versions of this coin. It's catalog 216.2, and the .2 means that it has raised letters right here in the top of the ribbon, whereas the older version had it sunk or carved into that top ribbon. We're back to Indonesia again. This one's going to be a 25 rupiah from 1971. Catalog KM34. As we flip this one over, it features a bird called the Victoria Crowned Pigeon. This bird is native to the island of New Guinea, which means you would find this bird in Papua New Guinea, and then the other half of the island, which is part of Indonesia. We are again back to Spain. So this one is a 100 or 100 pesetas coin. Catalog 826. Featuring Juan Carlos I. This one is dated 1982. This was the first year this coin was made. It was made from 82 to the early 90s, and then for 1 year they had replaced the spelling out the word for 100, CN, and they replaced it with the numerals 100 there at the very top. That one only lasted for 1 year until they also went through a commemorative coin that they released every year. In exchange value, it was about 120 pesetas to a euro. So this one would have been very close to about 80 United States cents when it was produced. So the catalog value on this one is $1, and every time I find something like that, I think it's good. I do keep a running tally. I'm not going to tell you the value of every coin because, you get a lot that are 25 or 30 cents or 10 cents or something. But at the very end, I'll tell you what everything added up to in the catalog, especially since I only paid $5 for the entire video. This design means the coin is from Morocco, and so the Arabic date and the Gregorian date are easy to read, 1394 and 1974. This one is a 1 dirham with a large 1 on the bottom. Pretty much all the modern Moroccan coins look like this. We flip it over, and it features the king, which at the time was Hassan II. Catalog number is KM63. This is a coin which is still in a currency that circulates, so this one would have a foreign exchange value of 10 United States cents. Coins from Nepal, I think, are pretty difficult to identify because I can't read the alphabet, and I'm not used to seeing it, but this one is going to be a 25 paisa coin. It does have a dagger pointing upwards. Flip it over, and it has on this side a trident, and actually I think the trident points down. Nope, trident points up. because the date there is at the bottom. Their numerals are a little bit different than ours, so you can recognize the 2, the 20, and then a 3, and then what looks like a backwards 3, which in their number system, that means it's 2036. So this is not a coin from the future, but it is a coin where Nepal has their own calendar, and so it's not from the future. It's actually from 1979. So this would be during the reign of Virendra Bikram Shah, who ruled over Nepal from 1972 to 2001. So this was early in his reign. This coin was made from 1971 through 82. But there are several coins that were produced that look to the untrained eye as very similar for a couple of decades before this one. Catalog number KM 815. We'll flip that one over one more time. Really what you have to do on these coins is, once you figure out it's from Nepal, then you look at the date, which is, like I mentioned earlier, that's a 2036, and then I just had to go in my catalog and figure out which one it was. And because of that, I didn't have it, so that's a good one to find. There is an older version of this coin where there are only 4 characters at the top. That was probably 20 years before this one was minted. And a different catalog number. We have our first British monarch of the video. This one's going to be King George VI. A little bit corroded on this side, but I think it's overall in decent condition. As we flip this one over, it says Commissioners of Currency in Malaya. That is an area that is today part of Malaysia. This coin was made in 1950. At this point, it was copper nickel, but they made it in silver up through 1945. They didn't mint this coin every year, so let's say there isn't a 46 or 47, but in the 48, they moved it to copper nickel. Catalog number is KM7. We're back to Spain, and this is a coin that is, you find a lot of coins from about this time which are about the same, but this one's going to be a 50 peseta that you don't really see nearly as often as, let's say, the 1 and the 5 from this time. So that made it a lot rarer than some of the others. There is a date of, well, first of all, the ruler at the time was Francisco Franco. There's a date of 1957, but what Spain does is they only put the year that the coin was first made, and then there is a star mint mark on the back with a date and really not tiny numbers inside of that. We're going to take a look at this in a moment, but this one turned out to be one of the most interesting coins in this video. The catalog is 788, and so let's zoom in a little bit here. And normally, a lot of these coins are well worn to the point where you can't really see the number in here, but I think that's clearly a 59. And so the 50 pesetas, I think, looks a lot like the 5 pesetas. So it has, since it's larger, you can see a lot of details on here that you couldn't see on the 5. And for instance, we've got this Spain symbolism here, the castle, the lion, a shield, and I think a flag inside of a couple of columns, a crown on the top. And then holding all that up is an eagle with a banner running behind it. And I don't know that I'd ever noticed that it had the eagle's talons were actually holding this entire piece. But then I thought, what's this over here? Looks like a LOB or something like that. So I was wondering, what is this? And I don't remember seeing that before. So I pulled up pictures of this coin. That is not supposed to be here. So what do we have? Let's zoom in as close as we can and take a closer look on here. If I hold it like this, it looks like the letters LOR. So I'm thinking this is some kind of mint error. I wouldn't call this a a restruck coin, but it makes me think that there were a couple of planchets that got stuck together, or a blank planchet got stuck to another coin which had already been pressed or struck. And with this one not struck, it put some details of a struck coin on it. And then they figured out, oh, this one hadn't been struck, so they ran it back through. It was restruck, but some of the details are still visible on here. So where is the other end of that? Well, let's flip it over. That's the opposite of POR right here. Poor. Poor. And so if you look at it, this side of the coin in the same area has some unusual details. So this was pressed up against something also on here. So the striking process probably removed most evidence of that, but there are some I guess some spots where it didn't quite make it all the way through. So we've got some raised areas on here, which would undoubtedly be something on the back. But there seems to be a little bit right there. So at first I was going to call this a repunched or restruck coin, but I don't think that's the case, since these letters show up backwards. So it's kind of like a mirror image of what it would be. If that actually read the other direction, then it would have been repunched. But I don't know. I guess it's not a problem with the actual dies, or there'd be others out there like this, and you'd have people reporting it in the catalog or Nemista or something like that. So what do you think? What is that error called? That is, for me, I knew I already had this coin, but I thought that was the highlight of the video as far as things I discovered after I was already home and I was looking at the coin. This coin is also, I think, pretty interesting. I'll find a coin from this country about once a year. So before Yugoslavia was a country, it had a different name. It was called the Kingdom of the, gotta get this right, Kingdom of the Serbs, right here, or maybe that's the word for kingdom. The Serbs, the Croats, and the Slovenes. I'm hoping that they actually had those words in the order that I showed it up. So Kingdom of the Serbs, Croats, and Slovenes. That became Yugoslavia. This coin was made in 1925, and Yugoslavia became the name of this area in 1929, so just 4 years later. This one is a 1 dinar coin. I want to point out the mint mark on here, which is on the other side. So before I get to that, the monarch here is Alexander the First. So here we have the 1 dinar look to it. Of course, it's in, I guess that is Cyrillic. There's the crown at the top. So here's our mint mark right here. It's a lightning bolt. So the ones that were made in Brussels, which is a little bit more common, do not have a mint mark at all. But this one has about a 50% premium because it was made in with the lightning bolt mint mark, which means it was from Poissy, France. This coin is also nickel bronze. Catalog number KM5. This one looks for $1.50. Here is a zinc coin from Denmark. It is dated 1954. Catalog number KM843.1. This is a coin that was converted to zinc with World War II, and they started doing that in 1942. They decided to keep on making them out of zinc until 1964. This side has a little bit of zinc corrosion on it, but you can see it's the 5 ore. And so, like a lot of Denmark coins, it has some, it changes the catalog number every time the initials, which one there that looks like an N, heart is their mint mark, and then we've got an S over here. So that changed a couple of times during the run of this coin. So this one's KM 843.1. Something a lot newer. This one is also from Denmark, but is 1992. At this point, the ruler is Marguerite II, so we see her monogram on here 3 times. There still are mint initials on here, which eventually went away probably a decade after this coin was made. But this is the first year that this 2 kroner was made. This one is catalog 874.1. And we flip this one over, and so that's not just an interesting swirly design in the middle, but it's actually based on some prehistoric art. So Denmark did not switch to the euro, which means this one is still actively traded. This one has a foreign exchange value of 29 cents. So I'm not going to get rich buying coins that are 6 per dollar and getting 29 cents of value for them. I'm not even sure how to trade it in, but I always think it's interesting when I can find that. A scalped edge coin with this design is going to be from Pakistan. It has the date of 1975 on it. This one is catalog KM34. It's going to be a 2 paisa coin, but it's also an FAO coin, as it features stalks of rice on either side of the number 2. They had 4 FAO coins in this series. They had cotton, sugar cane, and wheat on some of their other denominations on, let's say, the 1, 5, and the 10 paisa during this time. Here is a coin from Latvia. Their first year to make coins after the Soviet Union fell, 1992. The year this coin was dated, so they had many of their coins were made this one year and lasted for a long time. This one is a 5 centimi coin, so catalog number KM16. One thing I found interesting about their, I guess this is more of a language thing, the 1 in the set is called centimes, has an S on the end. Whereas you would think if it was singular in English, it would not have an S on the end, but in the Latvian language here, it does end in an S, and then the 5 and the 10 end in the letter I for centimi. But then it changes again. The 10, the 20, and the 50, it ends in the letter U to be centimu. So I don't know if there are any of you who might be Latvian language experts, but if that's true, do they have different ways of pronouncing larger multiples? I've never seen that in other languages, so I thought that was interesting. This coin was in circulation until 2013. Here's a bimetallic coin from Ecuador in 1995. This one is catalog KM97. They made 2 different bimetallic coins that year, the 100 and the 500 sucres. This one is the 500. It features Isidro Ayora. And so at the top it says Reforma del Estado. And the value of 500 sucre. So it uses 500 in 2 different contexts, so not only the value of the coin, but also notes that it's the 500th anniversary of state reform. Not quite sure what that means, but always good to find one of these. From Italy, this is a 200 lira, and so it has the regular circulating coin every year still has the same lady's face looking towards the right, but this one is a 1-year circulating commemorative. The bottom there, it has Genoa 92, so that is We would call that the city of Genoa. And so this coin honors the World Exposition of Thematic Philately. And if you're not familiar with the word philately, that is just another word for stamp collecting. So this is a one-year coin honoring that 1992 International Stamp Collecting Convention. But the catalog number of this coin is KM 151. We're back to a coin from Costa Rica. This one's going to be a 10 centimos coin. It has a little bit more shine to it than perhaps anything else in the video today. So as we flip it over, it's from 1979. This side does say that it is from Costa Rica. And I was talking earlier about with Costa Rican coins how you have to check the catalog to discover the subtle differences. So this was a coin that was made several years in several different ways. The catalog number on this one is KM 185.2B. I believe this version was only made in 1979. And so this year it was nickel-clad steel, but in other years it was copper nickel. Other things to look out for is there are 7 stars right here. I think that's the equivalent of 7 states of Costa Rica. Earlier years there were 5. There are also smaller ships in the sea right here, so that's a variation. And then the other side, this is called the small number 10 for that one. So this is one I didn't have, so I'm glad I picked it up. Here is a coin from Luxembourg, as it says on here, and then after I was looking at this, it occurred to me, don't most Luxembourg coins actually spell their country Luxembourg? So not really sure why it changed for this coin. But it is a 25 centimes from 1938. This is another one-year coin because they made subtle changes for this one. This year it was made out of copper, nickel, and zinc. The previous version of this coin was made out of bronze, and then that one replaced a coin that was copper nickel. In future years, they made the 25 centimes a smaller coin. So this one is catalog KM42A, and so this one has the coin orientation where when you flip it this way, you have right side up. There is a version that is a metal rotation where you flip it this way and it would be right side up on that. That's a pretty rare version that's pretty good value to it. But this coin in this condition is still worth $1.10. This coin does not have the name of the country written anywhere on it, so you have to know what it is just by looking at this logo on this side. I guess as a hint, you see the letters RPR in the banner that runs across the bottom. And if you haven't figured it out yet, it has a value of 5 bani, and there aren't a lot of coins that or countries that use the bani or the leu. So it's Romania, specifically from the time in Romania where it was the People's Republic of Romania. So that is RPR across the bottom. This one is catalog KM 83.2. The .2 means that they added a star to the very top of this logo. The .1 version is actually a lot rarer. This is another coin I didn't have, and this one actually books for $2, so I'm really happy about this one. It is made out of aluminum bronze. Here we have the West African states, 100 francs, so all of the Western African countries, which were at one point ruled over by France. When France gave them up, they still kept the currency. All the countries there still banded together to make this currency. These are still made in Paris, to have Paris privy marks on either side of the date of 1969 on here. And so this is our French word for west, I believe. O-U-E-S-T. So this one's catalog KM4. And this coin was actually made from 1967 to 2005. I sometimes have trouble finding high quality or good condition coins from Haiti. So I was glad to pick up this 5 centimes. Most Haitian coins will look like this on the reverse. Of course, it has a 5 instead of what other denomination it might have. But this coin was from 1997. The man featured here is Charlemagne Peralta. And if we're going to talk about things that I might not like from history, and I don't really know the story because this is before my time, but he is a Haitian hero because he helped resist the United States from occupying Haiti. Ultimately, he was unsuccessful, but he was a hero for his efforts. And in fact, they didn't actually have I was reading that they didn't have a ceremonial funeral for him until the United States actually left controlling Haiti, which was about a decade after his death. But this version of the coin was made out of magnetic nickel-plated steel. In 1986, this coin was made out of copper nickel zinc, but it was made out of this nickel-plated steel in 1995 and 97. But there also, the catalog doesn't note it, but there is a difference between the 95 and the 97 version. Some of the accent marks that appear on here appear to be different between those 2 years. This one's catalog KM154A. Here is a tiny coin from Honduras from 1957. It's going to be a 1 centavo, or un centavo de lempira. And this is another of those where they made subtle changes over the years. This coin essentially was made from 1935 through 1988, but they made very subtle changes over the year. They didn't mint it most years, but this one is the bronze version and also the thin planchet, which you can tell just by looking at the date and then taking that catalog. So it's catalog number KM77.2. We'll stay in the Americas with this coin from Chile. This is a 100 pesos from 1993. And there are a couple versions of this coin. This one is the narrow date version, so it's catalog KM226.2. And so there is a message written on here which translates to for reason or force. And then we look at the coat of arms on the back. We have a Santiago mint mark at the very bottom. And then the 2 animals on here, we have a condor on the right, and then on the left that is an Andean deer. Next up we have a coin from India, which has the standard 3 lion design that we see on a lot of the coins from India when they were first free from Britain. This one is a 20 paisa from 1970. Has a star mint mark underneath the 1970, which means it was minted in Hyderabad. And this one features a lotus petal, or lotus flower. We move to Namibia from 1993. This one's going to be catalog number KM5. This coin was made in 1993 and 2012 and 2015 and is still a valid currency. This one has a foreign exchange value of 27 cents in US dollars. And then as we flip this one over, it is their $5 coin. And this is called the African Fish Eagle. So it looks like it is ready to either land or dive into the water and pick up a fish. So this one books for $1. So around 1990, a lot of the Venezuelan coins looked about the same, and just the biggest difference was how big the coin is. And so this one is a 2 bolivares, so it's a lot bigger than the 1 bolivares, but the obverse of them are pretty much the same, which is bolivar looking to the left. This one is from 1990. This was made from nickel-clad steel, where other years it was made out of nickel. And this one is also the small letters variety, so the words on both sides of the coin are a little bit different. That's pretty much based on where it was minted, but all of the ones from 1990 are going to be that way. Catalog KM 43A.1. After I got home and examined it, this one was a little bit more well-worn than I would have liked, but it is a Thailand coin featuring Rama the Ninth. It is a 1 baht coin. And this features a mythical creature that appears in a lot of Thai symbolism. This is the mythical Garuda creature. So it is a 1-year circulating coin. The calendar year in this coin, in the Thai Buddhist calendar, this would have the year of 2517. On the Gregorian calendar, that is 1974. The catalog number in this one is Y100. So the last coin in this video is going to be from Peru from 1994. This one is catalog KM 308.1. And so Peruvian coins are another currency where they've made subtle changes to the design over the years. The coin stays generally the same for several decades, but I'll point out some of the differences. Like this one, later years there is an accent mark that would appear over the letter U in Peru, but this is one new, or nuevo, sol. So at this time they were putting Braille on the coins. That was removed in 2001, and then they removed the word nuevo, or new, in 2016. There is also a very rare version of this coin that has the name of the engraver written in this empty space right here. But I don't believe any of those exist this specific year. That's catalog 308.1. This one also is still in circulation, and also, like the coin from Namibia, has a foreign exchange value of 27 United States cents. So I'm going to send off this video showing a religious token, the last thing that I purchased from this particular dealer. I do make religious videos on this channel, and the last time I spoke at church I actually used the verse which is written on here: with God all things are possible. So I'm definitely going to keep this one in my personal collection. So thanks for watching. If you like these foreign coin videos, I've got some more linked here at the end, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.